Hello everyone, my name is Eseme and you're welcome to the house next door. Let me ask you this. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling like your favorite dessert? Well, that's how I woke up this morning. And I'll tell you this is not a cooking channel and I am not the best cook out there. But what I know how to do better than anyone else, even in this house, is my favorite homemade yogurt. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. I get most of the items that I need from my local Aldi food market, but you could pretty much pick them up from any local store. I am just very particular about the items that I use, mostly because I am a creature of habit. Another great store option is Giants. They have the exact coconut flakes that I need. And if you have a Safeway close by, they are a good option too. Now let's look at the things you need for this recipe. You need sour cream, sweetened condensed milk, diced fruit cocktail, crushed pineapple, canned cherries dipped in syrup, dried coconut flakes, mini marshmallows, plastic cups used for storage, and you could still use any other containers. You don't have to use these ones. This is just optional. You need a can opener, a mixing bowl, a spatula, and a strainer. Now that we have everything we need, let's get started, shall we? Use the can opener to open 2 cans of condensed milk and set that aside. For this recipe, I only used 1.5 cans. Next, open 2 cans of crushed pineapple and sit them on the strainer to drain. I used to use pineapple chunks before, but then I didn't like how icy they felt against my teeth when I ate the yogurt, so I switched to crushed pineapple, which in my opinion gives more flavor. Now do same for 2 cans of fruit cocktail. These usually contain a mixture of peaches, pear, cherries, pineapple, and grapes. Once again, repeat the process for your canned cherries. These are more for subtle decoration and coloring as you desire. And you can save the syrup from all the strained canned items for if or when you need them during this preparation process. Now let's go ahead and empty 3 16-ounce cans of sour cream into a mixing bowl. If you want less of a quantity at the end, you can use 1 or 2 cans, in which case I'll recommend you cut the other measurements by equal proportion as well. Pour in the strained crushed pineapple and stir. Each of the cans I used was 20 ounces. Remember, this is where a lot of your base flavor lies, so you could use as much as you want. Next, add 1.5 cans of sweetened condensed milk and stir again. The cans I used are 14 ounces each. Now pour in your fruit cocktail and then stir it to consistency. Now throw in some of the cherries and give it a good stir. I use cherries mostly for the color, and every now and then I'll add some of the syrup from the can to the mixture, just like I'm going to do in this case. It's now time to add the dried coconut flakes. I once tried this recipe with wet coconut flakes and it changed everything. Well, for the worse. So I would really recommend you use the dried flakes instead. The last thing I'll be adding right here are the mini marshmallows. And at this point, if you feel like the texture of your mixture is a little bit too dry, feel free to go ahead and add some of the syrup that you had saved from the cans of crushed pineapple. But just make sure that it has a good consistency. All done. Easy as ABC and simple as do re mi. As I had mentioned before, and I'm sure you'd probably notice, I chose to add some of the syrup from the cherries to this mixture. It's just a personal preference. As I pour the yogurt into the cans, I tap the bottom against the table to get rid of any air bubbles. Containerized to perfection, as I often say. I'll drop a link to these cans below if you're interested. I like them a lot. Once you're done containerizing the yogurt, go ahead and stick them in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours. Then they should be ready for consumption. Okay, good people, this is my favorite part of the video where we get to taste what we've made today. And remember that you have to have this in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours just so it gives you that texture, that crusty texture that you would normally find with yogurt. But however you want to have it, that's fine. To have this, to taste this live with me today is my beautiful and wonderful sister-in-law. Her name is Prudence. And she loves this, by the way, and everyone who tastes this really likes it. So, but every time this changes, so I want her to taste this for you guys and tell me what she thinks about it. So, should we dig in?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
Let me try some. Oh my god, guys.
Yummy.
This is so good. You can taste the marshmallow, the crunchiness of the coconut. Oh my god. So good.
Some people have called it heaven in a bowl, but I'm not one to brag. Anyway, that's it for the video today. We hope you could get to do this at home and enjoy this wonderful dessert with your families. Till then, it's a wrap. See you next time. Like, subscribe, and share.
Share.
Thank you.